They say when you win one, it's just a game. Win two, now you're on to something. But when you win three, now that's a streak. No Trae, no Levert, but that didn't stop the Hawks. Battle tested and war ready. This is Hawks Digest. Welcome back to Hawks Digest, everyone. Happy to see you guys once again. Huge win tonight. Hawks are now on a 3-game winning streak after taking care of business against the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, our Atlanta Hawks win this game 132 to 123. Got to get into this, guys. This video right here, I'm surrounding this one around our young core. I'm talking about two guys that are going to be focal points, and honestly, these guys are two of what could be the Fantastic Four in Atlanta. I understand I'm going Marvel, I'm going comics, I'm going movies, but this is that big, guys. This is that huge. And before I get into the video, you know I got to give you guys your shout out. Got some big news. Thank you. We could have not done this without you guys. We are officially over 1,100 here at Hawks Digest, and it's because of each and every one of you believing in us and making the Atlanta Hawks Digest one of your first listens when you need that Atlanta Hawks content. As you see, it's up to 27, getting close to 30% subscribed. And now we are down to 70, getting closer to the 60% mark. So if you are in that 72.8 percentile, please come on over to the Hawks Digest. We got some good content for you over here. But guys, I want to get right into this, talking about this post game, man, talking about this Atlanta Hawks team. And it got closer at the end. So I'll go ahead and just say it, guys. If there's one thing that I could improve upon on this game, it's just finishing strong. Now allowing guys to shoot, now allowing guys to, to creep back into the game toward the end. Yes, the game was well in hand, but just, keeping your foot on the necks of teams that have worse talent than you. The Atlanta Hawks, ultimately, they won every quarter except for the fourth quarter because, again, 43 points from these Sixers, and they were playing aspiring. They just wanted to at least get it back down to manageable because it was plenty of times to where the Hawks were up 17, 20, 22 in this game. And that's what you do against lesser talent. You show them they are the lesser talent. And the Atlanta Hawks, they did just that. 76 points in the paint tonight. 29 fast break points. Also, we did lose the bench points now. I will say that. You got to credit part of that to not having Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert was out with a sprained middle finger tonight. Also, Trae Young was out with a contusion to the quad. Remember, he did get kneed in the quad last game. They looked at this game, I'm thinking, from the Atlanta Hawks standpoint, they looked at this game and said, a lot of people are out for these 76ers. Let's go ahead and give our stars some rest. I believe we have the tools and the guys enough that we could, come in and still take care of business, and that's exactly what we did. We did get a bright spot tonight, and Vit Krejci returning to get some quality minutes tonight. And, of course, I'll get into individual performances, and hopefully you guys stick around for that as I'm going to get into it. A couple of guys there's some standouts in this game. But also 15 turnovers. That's close about around where the Hawks, so normally for the season averages around in that 13 to 15 mark. The Philadelphia 76ers only had 10, but that didn't hurt you in this game, luckily. Even the points off turnovers, that got the Sixers back into the game, but it didn't hurt the Atlanta Hawks because it was 21 to 15. But this game, of course, wasn't close. The closest it got, again, was that 43 points to 35 in the fourth quarter, making it that 123-132. And you seen the Sixers, they just did not want to go away at the end of the game. They kept trying to foul, kept trying to get, prolong the game. The game actually went an extra 10 minutes for no reason because this game was definitely well in hand. And the Hawks started off first quarter coming out, getting after these guys. Second quarter playing with more of their pace and defense. Continued that in the third quarter. And by the time it was fourth quarter, the Hawks, you could tell that they was really cruising, not necessarily just trying to step on their necks. Ultimately, good win. This game had 10 lead changes and 9 ties. And Dyson Daniels, you know what I'm saying, that guy, he was a guy. I said before the game started that Dyson Daniels was going to have a 30-point game. Well, as I'm moving now towards the individual performances, Dyson Daniels is a godsend. Dyson Daniels is one of the guys who I said is going to be possibly part of this Fantastic Four in Atlanta. I'm loving what Dyson Daniels is being able to do. I'm loving the opportunities that he's getting. Dyson Daniels, he led the offense. We had no Trae Young, and Dyson Daniels has been that secondary point guard, and actually been playing both ends. He's been that secondary point guard. He's the point of attack on the other end. Dyson is the most conditioned player we have on this squad. Just all the energy that is spent that has to play both ends that he's doing. Dyson is a godsend. Also, he also added 5 more steals. This is the 12th time he has reached that number. And my goodness, like, what more do you want from Dyson Daniels? Let me tell you more about this guy. His career average coming over was like 4 points. Dyson Daniels is averaging 14 points right now. 14 points. He's averaging almost 6 rebounds and over 4 assists. You take that from a guy who wasn't given all these opportunities where he came from in New Orleans. Figures. But it just, you don't get that opportunity. He just stand in the corner. Dyson Daniels said even himself, he's happy to play in a system and for a coach that is not going to sit him down just because he missed a shot. Of course you're going to love that. Dyson Daniels tonight, 10 of 14 in 33 minutes, 71% from the field, 50% from 3 as he was 1 of 2, and also 25 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. I said 30 points, he was 5 off, but at the end of the day, he still gave me steals. He still gave me steals. And excuse me, Dyson Daniels had 2 steals tonight. But ultimately, he's still leading the league from the text that I'm seeing. He's still leading the league, of course, by a large margin in steals, by a large margin in deflections. And this guy right here is still proving why he should be the defensive player of the year. But he's also showing that, hey, you never know. I may need to be in the consideration of the most improved as well. Just saying, guys. Just saying. Dyson Daniels has been on it, and so has this next gentleman. My rook, man. Zaccharie Risacher. Zaccharie Risacher came out on fire, okay? Came out this game. He started off before he went to the bench, 11 points. He finished 9 of 16, 56% from the field. 3 of 8 from 3, 37%. Still not bad at all because at the end of the day, he was on a heater today. So a couple of his shots, at least three. I can say heat checks. I can say, hey, give him the ball, let him shoot it. He's been on it. Played 31 minutes tonight. So happy to see that. So happy. But with Vit Krejci coming back, you had to assume that he was going to get some minutes, and he did. He got 16. I think that was very, very cool, very smooth. That's probably about as much as I would have played Vit coming back off of that back injury. No Garrison Matthews. I figured that was going to be like that with Vit coming back, so no Garrison Matthews, no Dominic Barlow. Tonight, you really didn't need those guys, and thankfully you didn't because you got contributions from other places. But, yeah, Zaccharie Risacher, man. That's another guy you already know. February Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month. And shoot, he's starting off this month pretty well as well. I believe so. I mean, he only had 7 points, what it was worth against the Bucks, but he had 27 against the Grizzlies. He had 11 against the Pacers, but he was 4 of 9 that game, and he hit all 3 of his threes. Then you also look at the second game versus the Pacers. That was the game you can really say, okay, Zach, so you had an off game. He was 3 of 7, 0 of 3 from 3, but he still gave you 22 minutes, 6 points, decent contribution. Against the Sixers, though, when he knew we needed him, and when we had to have it, Zaccharie Risacher, 9 of 16, 3 of, like I said, 3 of 8 from the 3-point line, 22 points, and ultimately this guy is starting to come within his own. 19 years old. He's not going to be 20 until April, so he's still growing. We have this young core of Dyson Daniels and Zaccharie Risacher. Dyson, Risacher. These are the two guys that I said can be a part of the Fantastic Four. Who are the other two guys? Come on now, y'all know better than that. It's Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Zaccharie Risacher. Trae Young is the facilitator and a scorer. He's also the guy that can get the ball to all three of those guys and make their game better. Remember, JJ was 20 and 10 before we lost him for the season. These guys all have length. They all have ability. They all can do different things, and they all have similar characteristics for our Atlanta Hawks. This was an awesome game to really just showcase guys like Dyson, showcase guys like Zach. And Zach, he is getting more and more confidence, guys. It just is what it is. Moving next to my last guy, and I have an honorable mention, but I got to talk about this guy real quickly, and that is Onyeka Okongwu. Double O is one of 3 centers that since January 20th, he has averaged 14 and 9. He is one of 3 centers to have been averaging that and shooting over 60% from the field. I'm just saying, guys, like, I understand about his size and everything, but Double O has always had something you can't teach: effort. He's always given effort. And you think about that game against the Pacers. If Double O isn't playing as well as he is down the stretch, if Double O wasn't getting those rebounds, guys, come on now, let's be real. We don't win that game if he's not being able to corral those rebounds. He had 16 and 16, 16 boards against the Pacers. He had a total, honestly, but he had 16 the second game, 13 the first game. Okay, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, this guy, he's averaging double-doubles more often than not. The Bucks game, he did not have a double-double. He only had 6 points and 9 rebounds, right? But regardless, the rest of the games, he's had double digits in points. Now, rebounds, he hasn't had double digits in rebounds every game, no. But in his last few games, guys, in his last 6 games, he's had 4 of those where he's had over 11 rebounds. So, at the end of the day, you got to take it with a grain of salt. He can't grow anymore, but he's going to give you that effort. So, I just had to give Double O his flowers as well. And I'm going to switch over to an honorable mention. I got to switch him over to him because he had his best game overall as an Atlanta Hawk tonight. Terance Mann. Shout out to Terance Mann tonight. He looked damn near like DeMar DeRozan tonight. Darn near like DeMar DeRozan. As far as like being able to get into the paint, get into the middle. And he was 9 of 13 tonight. 69% from the field. He did miss both of his threes, but he was such a killer in that painted area that it wasn't funny. All right? Like, not at all. 19 points for the man. One of his best games, if not the best game. I believe the best game he's had so far as an Atlanta Hawk. Playing both ends of the floor, giving the Atlanta Hawks everything they needed from a scoring standpoint, and it makes me very encouraged that he was able to do that. You know, again, he made, as right there in the painted area, right there in that DeMar DeRozan area, he still made 6 shots in that area tonight, just above the line, the painted line. So it and right below the free throw line, right in that area, he was killing. So I could not end this video without giving him his shout out. Guys, we have something to at least be optimistic about. The Atlanta Hawks are trying their best. The Atlanta Hawks are still fighting because they have something to fight for. Right now, the Atlanta Hawks are 31-34. If the playoff picture started today, they would be the 7th seed right now in the play-in, of course, you know what I'm saying, with the opportunity to possibly make that playoffs. But you have the Pistons who are 36-29. Also, I'm not sure if we catch them, but I'm not going to rule it out, guys. I'm not going to rule it out, Hawks fans. We are 31-34 right now. And when you look at it, the Pistons, they are right there. Other teams are dropping. The Magic, they're 30-36. You see that the Heat, they're 29-35. The Bulls are 27-38. The Atlanta Hawks are climbing. They are climbing, guys. So keep your faith, keep the optimism. I'm going to be right back at you guys with another video. Again, though, Dyson Daniels and Zaccharie Risacher, those guys are the two guys who can be a part of this core and can be a part of the Fantastic Four in Atlanta. Until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you all. And to you all, a Hawks win.